Hello, outlets. It is Samantha the writer here with the wonderful J.A. George.
Well, thank you, and hello, everyone.
And we are here at Shameless Plugs, because that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're happy you're all listening to us.
Yes. And Samantha the writer is wonderful as well.
Thank you. I
for the
appreciate
record.
that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So it's officially December.
It is. It is December. It is my favorite time of year. Well, fall is my favorite time of year. October is my favorite month.
Mm-hmm.
December, however, is a close second.
I agree with
because
this.
I love Christmas.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm not Christian.
Mm-hmm.
However, I still love Christmas. I
Yes.
love the season. I love everything it represents. The best of humanity coming out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely. And it's just hopefully for everyone, it is a happy and joyous
Yes.
and giving and wonderful time of year. So
Yes, exactly.
'cause
Exactly.
that's how I feel about it.
Yes. Agreed.
So we're gonna give you guys something.
Yes.
Segue.
Our next episode is our real present to you, but
Yes.
this is a smaller present
This
to you.
is a smaller present to you. So multiple times, if you've listened to some of our other episodes, we have referenced our prompt challenges and our
Yes.
prompt challenge from the holiday season of last year.
Yes.
And kind of as a preview of things to come next year, we've got
Yes.
a lot of fun things coming up with different prompts.
Some
and
very cool prompt challenges,
Yes.
including one that will involve our community
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and one of our guests.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about
I
that
know,
one. I can't wait to
yes.
really talk about it.
Yes, but we have to DL that for a little
Yes.
while.
Yes, yes.
But so we're excited about that. Hopefully, give you a little teaser. You can get excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we're gonna do a rerun.
Yes.
Of one of
Yes.
our favorite prompt challenges and
Mm-hmm.
some of the two stories that came out of it that often get referenced
Yes.
and discussed on the show.
I think these are the best two we've done as prompts.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
For both of us, I think that's true.
Yep, and that was our holiday prompt challenge of last year.
Yes. Yes.
So for those of you who missed it or are unfortunately too lazy to go back and listen to it, which, come on now, outlets.
Bad outlet. Bad
Come
outlet.
on now. We are going to replay that for you.
Yes.
And all of the joy and laughter that it brought to the both of us.
Yes.
So,
And if you are so moved by one of these prompts that you would like to participate and send us your version of one of these prompts, feel free to write a story. We would love to read it. We would, you may get brought on the show.
yeah, you may.
You may be interviewed. You may get to read your work.
I mean, we'll really do the holidays any time of year,
Exactly.
so, you know, send it to us. Share with us,
Yeah.
outlets, and
If
let us
it's-
see what
if
you've
it's
got.
June, I don't care.
I don't care either, yeah. Right?
There's never a bad time to bring the holiday spirit into your life.
There is never a bad time. So,
All right.
on that note, as always, you can find us at shamelessplugs.podcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Shameless Plugs Podcast on Twitter. Shameless Plugs Podcast on Instagram.
Yes. At Plugs Podcast on Twitter. We
Sorry.
couldn't get-
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And of course, our site.
Yes.
shamelesspluгspodcast.com. We're on YouTube. We're on various platforms such as SoundCloud and
yeah. All over the place.
Apple
so-
Podcasts and so on. And all the links are on our website.
Yeah, so come and find us.
Of course, you obviously found us if you're listening to this, but whatever.
But if you want to re-find us, if
Yeah.
you want the whole experience of
Yeah.
finding us again.
Yeah.
So I guess without further ado, here is a throwback
Yes.
to one of our favorite episodes.
Absolutely.
Bye, outlets.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Shameless Plugs. I am J.A. George, here with Samantha the writer.
Hello.
And today is a special holiday episode. We are not going to be talking all that much about the holidays. However, if you are regular followers of us on social media, or if you have visited our website in the last week, you saw that we posted a video.
We did post a video.
Our holiday writing prompt challenge to one another. So, yes. So, Samantha and I issued holiday writing challenges to one another, and my challenge for Samantha was, in 500 words or less, tell a story about an unusual holiday tradition. It could be any tradition, just as long as it's unusual. It could be an unusual society, an unusual holiday, an unusual family. I don't care, just as long as it's unusual.
And my challenge to J.A. George was to write a story in 500 words or less about the time that Santa crash landed in the woods and the reindeer were hurt, and what animal did he use to replace?
Yes.
1, 2, all of them? I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is what we have both produced over the past week.
Yes.
And just as an aside, writing a story in a week, when it's the holiday season,
Yes.
and
you have full-time
you have a
jobs
full-time
and families.
job and families is,
Yeah.
it's a good challenge. So
Yes.
I encourage all of you listeners, writers, to give it a shot.
And we would actually welcome if anybody wants to tackle either of these challenges. Let us know on social media.
Yeah.
Shoot us an email. We would love that. We would absolutely love it if somebody else did either challenge, either one.
Either one.
500 words or less challenges will be posted on the website. So you can get them there. But yes, if you're a writer and want to join in the fun, please do.
And as we have held each other accountable over this week to get them done, if you need someone to hold you accountable, let us know and we can send you yelling emails.
Yes. And I will say, this challenge was fun.
It was.
I had
It was
fun
a
doing
blast.
it. It
Yeah.
was... it did push me to do something I don't normally do. Two things that I don't normally do, as you'll hear when I start talking about my actual story. But yeah, it pushed me to do something unusual, which I think is what it's what lets all of us stretch and grow as writers, creators, whatever you want to call it. So I appreciated it for that, and I think I came up with a pretty fun story. So, you know.
And how many words is your story?
Mine. So I texted Samantha last night to tell her I had finished my story and that it was at 499 words. I actually made a change and now it is 500 exactly.
Are you serious?
Yep. Exactly 500 words.
And this speaks to a difference in our writing styles, which we will address in another episode.
Yes.
But now, without further ado, the reason for you tuning in is, well, one, because we're amazing, and we're great writers, and our opinions are top-notch. So that's the first reason you're tuning in.
Yes.
The second reason you're tuning in is to hear our stories.
Yes.
So I'm going to hand it over to Ja, who's going to start us off with his tale.
So my story, as I said, I did a couple things that were new that I have not done before. My story, first off, it's a poem.
Oh.
I rarely do poetry. I mean, I have written poems before, but it's a poem. That's one. Two, it's my first ever Christmas story.
Nice.
I've never written a Christmas story before, so this is the second first for me. Three, it's a kid's story.
Oh.
It's only my second kid's story that I've ever written. So, yes, this is 99% child appropriate.
Aren't all children's stories 99% child appropriate? I mean, let's be honest.
Also, this is shameless plugs, so I'm going to, say something very complimentary about myself right now.
Do it.
It has the greatest title ever for a Christmas story. Knuckle Up for Christmas. Yes.
Knuckle
Up for Christmas is the title of my story.
Awesome.
So,
all right, well, here we go. This is J.A. George with the Christmas Story Children's 99% approved poem.
Yes.
Knuckle Up for Christmas.
Yes, and I have never read one of my stories to an audience before, so I've also never read a poem out loud before, so I apologize if I'm off a little bit since this is my first time, but here we go.
Do it.
Knuckle Up for Christmas. One Christmas Eve, down in the woods, Santa had crashed, spilling all of the goods. Footballs, board games, and skateboards were strewn all about, leaving elves in a tizzy to figure it out. The reindeer were tangled in a reindeer-shaped knot, and Santa looked like the victim of a fly swatter swat. Oh dear, fretted Gumdrop, a pixie most nervous. We're doomed, added Digger, the most senior gnome in Santa's Secret Service. But then taking control was the elf they called Knuckles, a nickname he'd earned winning eggnog bar scuffles. First things first, get Santa back on his feet. Brush off his coat, get his tush in that seat. Then elves, grab the presents that spilled in the snow, while the gnomes fix the sleigh, get us ready to go. To the pixies, Knuckles made a comment most dire. We're down all 9 reindeer, we haven't one flyer. What shall we do? Asked Gumdrop in despair. Cancel Christmas, said Digger. It's not like we've got even one single prayer. That's not an option, Knuckles barked at the gnome. We'll deliver each present, we'll visit each home. We just need a beast that can fly through the air. We'll find that first beast, then we'll find 4 more pairs. Knuckles' gusto made Gumdrop think they'd pull this off, maybe, and gave her an idea that might just be crazy. Bears have the power to carry us far? Digger scoffed. 9 bears on one roof, each one's big as a car. Besides, they're all sleeping, furry balls in dark caves. Are you going to wake them? When did you get so brave? Don't be rude, Knuckles snapped, you crusty old buzzard. Why, you're crusty as a plug made of dried up old mustard. Digger turned red, mad without question. But Gumdrop ignored him, gave another suggestion. Elks are like reindeer, but bigger and stronger. Why, you daft little pixie, not one choice could be wronger. It was Digger, of course, that crabby old coot. So rude he deserved a crabby coot suit, and some crabby coot boots for his crabby coot feet, and a crabby coot chair for his crabby coot seat. Everyone knows that elks are just awful. They'll serve you brown nuggets and call them falafel. A solution came then for those who could math. A 9-bunny family hopped down the path. Now Knuckles was quick with his fists, it was true. Quicker still with a carrot, a fact no one knew. In less than a minute, the bunnies agreed to help save Christmas, to save it with speed. Just one more minute, and they were all hooked up to a jingle bell harness that Knuckles had cooked up. With jolly old Santa in his seat and composed, fairies sprinkled their dust and bunnies arose. Santa nodded his head and helped Knuckles aboard, then said to the elf, "You deserve an award! Save the day you did for kids big and small, and made this the happiest Christmas of all." The end.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I think probably something we should have said before is neither of us have heard the other one's story.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
it's totally raw right now.
This is very much a natural reaction.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
That was a lot of fun to write.
Yeah, I bet it
a lot of fun
was.
to write.
And like, I mean, you had like the words and the rhyming and the scheme and oh my gosh, that was good. I really enjoyed that.
Thank
It was
you.
unexpected and delightful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There were a few parts that I'm not comparing myself to Dr. Seuss because he is at a level far beyond what I am capable of, but there were a few points where it felt like kind of the rhythm and the word choice felt very Seussian, and I was pretty happy with that because he's amazing.
He is amazing, yeah. No, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so good.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And with that, we will turn it over to Samantha the writer.
All right.
I can't wait to hear this story. I can't wait to hear this.
So when we were going, after I got Jay's text last night, I was like, well, I needed to respond, and I responded with, well, I finished my story. It's kind of rustic. No word count. And then I forget what else I said.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, something else. But it is. Oh, and but it is under 500 words. I do know that.
Yes.
So part of the reason that it's rustic is it is on paper, actual paper with an actual pen.
Yes.
Because that's what I had available when I got my idea. So, so I procrastinated the bejesus out of this one. I wrote it yesterday, whereas my esteemed co-host has been working on his for the entire week.
Well, in all fairness, I started at the beginning of the week, but it was like, oh, I wrote 40 words today. So it's not like I really was, I did it in like 20-minute blocks.
Yeah. So my story is called Bah, B-A-H.
I like that. I like it already.
And it is about an unusual festive time of year.
Okay.
So
I cannot wait to hear this.
okay. So yeah, here we go with Bah. On the planet Hobnob, there's a festive time of year called Bah. The traditional the traditional Ba gift is a hat for each head. It is well known that the two-headed Hobnobbians are rather fond of hats, and giving one is a sign of appreciation. Giving two, one for each head, is a sign of love, but that is a different story. Ba is a 4-day celebration that commences with a horn that can be heard across the planet. The horn indicates it is time to rush hastily from the home and try to buy the best hat. Only the very best hats are available on the first day of Ba, and not having one is unacceptable on the gift-giving day. Hobnobbians experience the true holiday spirit on the first day of Ba, which includes trampling, yelling, punching, crying, loathing, and jealousy. It is a glorious time of year. Casualties are quite common on the first day of Ba, but acceptable. Hobnobbians truly understand the hardship of buying the perfect gift, and are ready to accept the consequences of the endeavor. In fact, the second day of Ba is used to celebrate those brave heroes who gave their lives for the pursuit of the perfect gift. Rest their shining souls. The third day of Ba is Parade Day. Those that chose not to participate in the grand occasion of the first day must don red shawls draped across both heads and walk to the closest hat store. It is un-Hobnobbian to not participate in the first day of Ba, and a spectacle must be made. The distinguished first day Hobnobbians sit on their porches and point and laugh as the red wave moves across the planet, because of course the hats to their left are inferior, and the people buying them unfortunate. It is a glorious day. On the final day of Ba, hats are exchanged and the entire planet of Hobnob, dressed in their new headwear, comes together for a meal. It is a lavish affair full of compliments and small talk, and the delight of people only brought together by Ba.
I love it. I love it. I was hoping you would do something completely like Gonzo and out there, and you did, and I love it. That's awesome.
Inspired by still needing to buy presents.
Write what you know, right?
Yeah. So that's Ba. I have a feeling that the planet Hobnob may make an appearance again.
Nice.
Because I'm kind of enjoying my two-headed individuals.
Nice. So I was, I'm glad you bring that up, because I was actually thinking about, I could do a lot with Digger.
Yeah,
Why is
you
Digger
could.
the way he is? Knuckles, I could do a lot
Yeah.
more. I really like these characters. And even though I don't know them yet, I kind of know them already.
Right.
I want to bring them back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could do a whole thing. Traveler's Guide to Hobnob. Because everybody wants to go there. It sounds like a delightful place.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, casualties are acceptable.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they celebrate all of them, so it's fine.
The other thing that I really liked about your story, by the way, was there were moments. For those of you who are Teen Titans fans, it felt like a Starfire story.
Yes, yeah, there are.
It really felt like even some of the word choice, it felt like a Starfire story. So I really appreciated that, because I like Teen Titans. So.
I do as well. I feel like we've plugged them before.
I think we might have, yeah.
That was good. So fun challenge. We'll probably do more of these.
We absolutely will do more of these
because they're just funny.
Yeah.
And it makes the brain work in a different way.
Yes. So. And again, please join us.
Yes.
We would love to see somebody else participate in this.
We would, and we would love to read your stories, and then with permission, share your stories,
and maybe give a plug, maybe a link on the website, maybe a shout out on social media.
Maybe. Yeah.
Gotta look out for our people.
We do. Comments.
Our outlets.
Comments, thoughts, questions. Feel free to drop us an email. Both stories will be posted on our separate websites for sure.
Yes,
Are we gonna post
and linked.
Them?
They'll be
and
linked
on
from our site.
and linked from Shameless Plugs. If you didn't like our stories and think that we're terrible writers and terrible people, as always, you can let us know at wedon'tcare@wedon'tcare.com.
Correct.
So appreciate all of you.
Thank you again for listening, and we will talk to you again in the new year.
Yeah.
This is our last episode of 2017.
Oh my gosh, this is our last episode of 2017.
Yeah. Our next episode will be out on New Year's Day.
So, in the technical scheme of technical, will that have meant that we have been on for 2 years?
Yes, it will. Yes, we will, as of our next episode, we will have been on the air for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Yes.
Yep. I think so.
That 3-month thing is just a technicality.
I mean, no one said,
It counts.
It counts.
It counts.
18, 17. They're 2 years.
I mean, let's be fair. Since we are the greatest writers who ever lived, we kind of deserve the chance to puff up our stats a little bit. And we've earned it.
Right, yeah.
We've earned it just by being amazing.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that update.
Yes. All right, thanks for listening, everyone, and have a great holiday season, and we will talk to you next year.